हैन ये नाति बाबु, रेडियो बजाऊ त, रेडियो सुन्न पर्यो।
रेडियो नै सुन्ने हो र बा,
के आउँछ र? अब के आउने हो? गीत सङ्गीत सूचना मनोरञ्जन सबै आउँछ के?
होइन बा, कुन रेडियोमा आउँछ हो त्यस्तो?
अब यो हाम्रो नाति केटालाई अझै थाहा रहेनछ। त्यही रेडियो सन्देश 89.8 मेगाहर्जमा आउँछ नि। ल बजाइहाल त।
रेडियो सन्देश 89.8 मेगाहर्ज, सबैभन्दा पृथक, सबैभन्दा बेस्ट।
सुनवल नगरपालिका शिक्षा शाखाको सम्पूर्ण विद्यार्थी तथा अभिभावक ज्यूहरूलाई अनुरोध।
विश्वव्यापी महामारी कोभिड-19 को कारण सम्पूर्ण विद्यालय र अन्य क्षेत्रमा बन्दाबन्दी भई लामो समयसम्म बाल बालिकाको पठन पाठन ठप्प रहेको अवस्थामा बाल बालिकाको सिकाइलाई निरन्तरता दिन सुनवल नगरपालिका र रेडियो सन्देश 89.8 मेगाहर्ज तथा रेडियो सुनवल 90.7 मेगाहर्ज को संयुक्त सहकार्यमा यही असार 4 गते बिहिबारबाट सुनवल पाठशाला कार्यक्रम निम्न तालिका बमोजिम एफएम कक्षा सञ्चालन भइरहेको हुनाले सम्पूर्ण अभिभावक ज्यूहरूलाई आफ्ना बाल बालिकाहरूलाई उक्त समयमा सहभागी गराइदिन हुन हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछौं।
रेडियो सुनवलमा पढाइ हुने समय कक्षा 3 को बिहान 9:30 देखि 10 बजेसम्म, कक्षा 4 को बिहान 10:05 देखि 10:40 सम्म, कक्षा 5 को बिहान 11:05 देखि 11:45 सम्म, कक्षा 6 को मध्याह्न 12:10 देखि 12:55 सम्म र कक्षा 1 को दिउँसो 1:10 देखि 1:40 सम्म।
त्यस्तै रेडियो सन्देशमा कक्षा सञ्चालन हुने समय कक्षा 2 को बिहान 9:15 देखि 9:30 सम्म, कक्षा 10 को दिउँसो 2:10 देखि 2:55 सम्म, कक्षा 9 को दिउँसो 3:10 देखि 4 बजेसम्म, कक्षा 8 को दिउँसो 4:10 देखि 5 बजेसम्म र कक्षा 7 को साँझ 5:10 देखि 6 बजेसम्म।
अनुरोधक सुनवल नगरपालिका शिक्षा शाखा। Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm your English teacher, Hima Neupane. I would like to warmly welcome all my dear students, especially of grade 10 in Sunwalpathsala program, broadcasted by Radio Sandesh 89.8 MHz with the collaboration of Education Department, Sunwal Municipality. Dear students, today I'm going to teach you a poem of grade 10. That is, Did I Miss Anything? Did I miss anything? Miss, lose. Did I lose anything? के मैले केही गुमाए त? That's the title of the poem. So please, my dear students, if you have books, please turn the page number 60 of your English book so that you can easily grasp the messages that was delivered from here. Well, first of all, let's talk about the title of the poem. Did I miss anything? It is a question. Did I miss anything? It's a title question. It's a question frequently asked by the one of the absentee, whether he had missed some important lesson in the previous class that he missed. It means it's a question that was asked by one of the absentee, one of the student who missed his class, his previous class, and the next day he asked his teacher whether he had missed something. In fact, let me talk about the background, contextual background. As the poet Tom Wayman, he worked as a teacher too. Once he was a teacher, and one of his students asked him the same question. After that, this question hit his mind, and he wrote this poem. Did I miss anything? Well, my dear students, now it's the reading section. You can see in your book, in your English book, there is a picture. Look at the picture. If now you have book, and you will see a picture there. It's the picture of a classroom. Some of the students are sitting in the classroom. Have you noticed? Yes, of course. You have noticed. There are some students. They are just sitting in the classroom. Now, let me ask a question. What do you usually do when you are free in the class? Sometimes, when you are free in the classroom, then what will you do? Yes, of course, my dear students, you remember your live classroom. I think the time that you spent in your classroom with friends, just by talking and by sitting on the bench and folding your hands too, maybe, or other else you may have done different activities. Of course, remember. And another important thing, that let me ask you a question again. Will you worry if you miss your class? What do you think? Will you worry? Sometimes, due to different problems, some students may miss the class, or some students knowingly bunk the class because they do not realize the importance of classroom education. Have you ever done such? Have you ever bunked the class? Have you ever thought about it? Of course, my dear students, sometimes you feel so. Of course, you realize such thing. Then, missing a classroom or bunking a classroom is a good habit. What do you think? I know. My students never bunk the class, never miss the class, because all my dear students, they know the value of classroom education. Of course. Okay, now in this lesson, did I miss anything? The poet also expresses such type of feeling, especially the teacher. In the poem, the teacher explains about the importance of classroom education. So let's learn about it more.
हामी पढ्छौं हामी लेख्छौं हामी अघि बढ्छौं ठुलो भई भोलि हामी देशलाई सिंगार्छौं।
Yes, of course. My dear students, now the world is facing terrible situation due to coronavirus, and students are bound to stay at home. They are not able to take different classes by going to the school, colleges, universities, of course. Now, you are also missing. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling good? Of course not. Of course not. It is obvious that classroom education is very important. We must not miss it. If sometimes we miss it, then we should ask our classmates and teacher too to gain the lesson that was taught in the previous class. It is the responsibility, of course, it is the responsibility of the students and the teachers. Yes, all of you came to the point. What am I talking till now? I'm talking about the main idea of the poem. Yes, the poem, Did I Miss Anything? That's the question asked by one of the absentee, one of the students who missed the previous class, previous lesson. Then, in response to that question, how does a teacher respond such type of typical question asked by a typical student? By blaming the teacher, of course. Students, do you have any guess? Yes, very good. You have already thought about the main idea of the poem, just I told. Now, let me check whether your view is similar to me or not. The poem, Did I Miss Anything by Tom Wayman, is about education opportunities. Is about education opportunities in a classroom that every student should attend for their better life. For their better life, classroom education is most important thing. It's the most essential thing. That's the main idea, main gist of the poem. Did I miss anything? In other words, the main idea of the poem is to reveal the importance of responsibilities of the teacher and the students. The teacher should never miss out the classroom, and the teacher should be regular. They should make the classroom live, interesting, and productive. It is also about the frustration of a teacher too. Of course, a teacher works very hard to make his classroom fruitful. If the student do not attend such classes, then what does a teacher feel? Okay, have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about it? Yes, it is also. This poem is also about the frustration of a teacher who has frequently been asked by the absent student, Did I miss anything? Very good. Students, up to now, you easily understood what about the poem is. Hello, students. Yes. Come on. Let's deal with the poem. This poem, Did I Miss Anything?, is written from two different points of view. What do you mean by point of view? Do you know about it? Point of view. Yes. Point of view means a particular attitude or way of considering a matter. It means perspective, vichar, dharana. In this poem, Did I Miss Anything?, there are two different points of view. They are the student's point of view and the teacher's point of view. In this poem, there are altogether 6 stanzas. Each stanza begins with the word nothing or everything. Let me repeat it again. All the stanzas of the poem begin with a single word, either nothing or everything. Here, nothing represents student's point of view and everything represents teacher's point of view. Another important thing that you must know before going to the stanza-wise poem is tone. What is the tone of the poem? Do you know? What do you mean by tone in a poetic sense? Tone refers to the author's attitude towards the topic or the subject matter. That's called tone. In this poem, the tone of the poem is mocking. No mocking, it's humorous. We also can say the tone of the poem is sarcastic. Okay, sarcastic, sarcastic. What do you mean by sarcastic? Yes, students, sarcastic means a poetic device, a way of writing literary creation in such a way that it tells something in a direct way, but it does have its opposite meaning. Then, in another way, we can say the tone of the poem is angry, in the sense that the poet's attitude towards the title, towards the subject matter, did I miss anything, is a little bit irritating. It means the poet feels angry when his absentee student frequently asked him a question that, did I miss anything? Yes, up to now, you all have been clear about the tone of the poem. Once again, tone of the poem. What is the tone of the poem? The tone of the poem is sarcastic, humorous, and mocking. We also can say the tone of the poem is angry. Yes. Now let's move forward. In the poem, did I miss anything? The stanza beginning with nothing are sarcastic and humorous, while those beginning with everything expresses the teacher's anger. It's the study time, and let's see the textbook, and we will deal today only 2 stanzas of the poem. 2 stanzas of the poem. Yes. In the reading section, in study time, there is a poem. Read the following poem and do different activities after reading the poem. I move forward in the first stanza. Listen carefully, okay? Yes. I'm going to read out. The first stanza begins with nothing. Yes. The first stanza goes like this. Nothing when we realized you weren't here. We sat with our hands folded on our decks in silence for the 2 full hours. It's the first stanza. It is the answer of the title question, Did I miss anything? Nothing. In the first stanza, there is the Stone's point of view. This first stanza is written from Stone's perspective. By replying the question of the absentee student, that is the title question, Did I miss anything? The poet begins saying nothing. Nothing. The speaker in the first stanza says the students, he did not miss anything. It means when the students was absent in the classroom, he missed nothing, as the teacher and the students realized that there was not the student, the absentee. So they just sat. What did they do? They just sat quietly for long 2 hours with their hands folded on the decks. Yes, once again, see your book in the first stanza. Again, read out the lines. Nothing when we realized you weren't here. We sat with our hands folded on our decks in silence for the 2 full hours. It means in the first stanza, the speaker responds in a sarcastic way. In fact, the student missed many things, but the teacher says that he did not miss anything else. Sometimes we want to say something by saying another different thing in an opposite way. That's the way of delivering message in a poetic way. That's called sarcastic situation. That is called sarcasm. Yes, this is the first stanza. Is really mocking. It's very humorous. It is sarcastic. It is a sarcastic answer. Here, the teacher, in fact, wants to say he missed a lot by saying he missed nothing. In the absence of that student, other students and the teacher did nothing. Just they sat in a silent way by folding their hands on the decks. That is, in an indirect way. The speaker in the first stanza react to his absentee, to his students who missed his important lesson, who missed his class. Well, dear students, up to now, we are reading the poem of grade 10, the first poem, Did I Miss Anything? From the first stanza. I'll ask a question for you. Think about it. If it is possible, please try to make a note in your copies. Whose point of view is presented in the first stanza? Whose point of view? Whose perspective is presented? Think it? Just I have told you. Think it, my dear students. Of course, you understood. Yes? Yeah. Whose point of view? Whose point of view is presented in the first stanza? Whose point of view? Yes. You are clear about it? The first stanza begins with a word that is nothing. It means nothing represents what? Nothing represents student's point of view. Whose point of view? Student's point of view. Yes, you are right. Dear students, you are right. Student's point of view. Whose point of view? Student's point of view. The first stanza is presented through the student's point of view. Yes. Now again, let me ask another question from the first stanza. What did the speaker in the first stanza do for the full 2 hours? What did? In another way, another question, the same answer, but question is different. What did the students do in the absence of the teacher? What? According to the poem, what do the students do? Or what did the speaker in the first stanza do for the full 2 hours? What? See here, in the first stanza, in the second line, there is a line, we sat with our hands folded on our decks in silence for the full 2 hours. We sat means in the first stanza, the students sat with their hands folded on the decks in a silence for the full 2 hours. Did you get the answer? It is clearly expressed that the speaker in the first stanza sat with the hands folded on the decks in a silence way for the full 2 hours. Yes. Similarly, another question. Please note down another question from the first stanza. Note down. How long did the students sit in silence by folding hands? How long? How long? Yes, the answer is given in the first stanza, third line, for the full 2 hours. It means, yes, students, you understood and you found out the answer. The student sat in a silence by folding hands for the full 2 hours. Yes, that's all about the first stanza of the poem. Clear? Yes, I hope you understood the first stanza better. Am I right? Yes, you understood the first stanza of the poem. Did I miss anything? That is written from student's perspective. In fact, the teacher replied the students that he did not miss anything else, but he wants to say he missed many things. Then let's move forward to the second stanza. May I read out? You also read with me, okay? In the second stanza, see there. The second stanza begins with the word everything. And you are already clear that everything, the word everything represents teacher's point of view. Whose point of view? Teacher's point of view. Let me read out, okay? Then you also read by following me. Everything I gave an exam worth. The second line. 40% of the grade for this term and assigned some rating due today, and which I'm about to hand out to quiz worth 50%. Once again, let me read out the first line of the second stanza. Everything I gave an exam worth. What did the teacher do when one of his students missed the class? He missed everything. In the first stanza, the speaker says he missed nothing in a satirical way, in an ironical way. In the second stanza, the speaker says the students missed everything because he did different activities. He conducted exams, other reading assignments, or prepared quiz. Like that, different activities were conducted by the teacher on that day. That was missed by the student. That the student missed everything. Student missed everything. Yes. Now, the teacher replied that he missed everything in the class. It is the teacher's anger. You know, the teacher prepares for a long time to make his classroom productive. The teacher prepares for long hours. Spend long hours for the what? For the students to make them understand well. Then students miss the class, means they missed everything. That is the teacher's anger that comes out in the second stanza. He tells this absentee that he taught the lesson which covered 40% of the term syllabus. From the term syllabus, he taught the lesson which covered 40%. Oh my God, 40%. Yes, he taught on that day. 40% of the term syllabus was taught on that day. Then of course, he missed many things. He missed the most important lesson on that day. Similarly, the teacher assigned the students some readings. He assigned for what? For the quiz. He assigned the students some readings and also make them prepare a quiz which is worth 50% of the term paper marks. Quiz, quiz, he prepared a quiz by giving reading assignment to his students which is worth 50% of the term paper marks and 40% of the term syllabus he taught on that day. Then think my dear student, did he miss anything? Of course, the student who missed the class missed many things. In fact, the teacher wants to say that he missed many things in the second stanza. Dear students, you all know teachers work very hard to make his or her students understand the lesson easily. He or she enters the classroom with a big plan. In such situation, if students bunk the class, miss the class, misbehaves the class, then the teacher feels bad, feels angry. So same anger is expressed in the second stanza. This is the poet's own experience. The poet Tom Wayman worked as a teacher. He used to be a teacher too. He worked as a teacher. At that time, some of his students asked such irritating questions. It is his own experience. This stanza means I'm talking about the second stanza. This stanza talks about the heavy activities done by the teacher in the classroom to make his classroom education more exciting, more interesting, and more productive. So, being in the classroom is important. All about being in the classroom is important. The poet wants to say that being in a classroom is very, very important to attain enlightenment. Dear students, now let me ask some questions, okay? Let's do some question answer activities. What did the teacher do in the second stanza? Read out the second stanza. What is in the second stanza? Just we read. Again, I'm going to read out. What did the teacher do? That's the question. Keep this question in your mind. Everything. I gave an exam worth. Means the teacher gave an exam worth 40%. Another, what did he do? He assigned some reading. For what? For what? To hand out a quiz worth 50%. It means he did that activities. The teacher in the second stanza gave an exam worth 40% and assigned some readings to hand out a quiz worth 50%. That were the activities done by the teacher on that day. But that important class was missed by the student. So he missed many things. He missed everything. Well, another important question. Why does the speaker in the second stanza think being in the classroom is important? Why? Why? Being in the classroom is important. Yes, why? The speaker in the second stanza think being in the class is very important. Yes, he thinks like that. Why? Because classroom education provides one, the best opportunity to gain the knowledge that the teacher conducted different programs, different activities to learn more. Through those activities, the students become able to get divine knowledge for the enlightenment. Of course, that's why being in a classroom is important to pass the examinations. Dear students, now I am towards the end of the lesson. I have already told you that I will deal only 2 stanzas of the poem. Today, I dealt with only 2 stanzas of the poem. Did I miss anything? I will come up again with another important lesson for you so that you can understand the lesson through a radio program, that is Sunwalpathsala. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you for all, for the students, guardians, and all the dignitary personalities and all who are listening to Radio Sandesh now. Thank you. Bye.
From a studio तपाईँ अहिले सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ रेडियो सन्देश सबैभन्दा पृथक सबैभन्दा बेस्ट 89.8 मेगाहर्ज।